Hello and welcome to the Skillless Podcast. My name is Josh Carrillo, and joining me as always is my wonderful co-host, Seph Cody Luna. Seph, how are you this week?
Freaking living, or what the fuck was I gonna say? Damn it! I know I was saying something. I'm gonna say something, but I was like surviving but living at this point.
Hell yeah, thank you so much for tuning into episode 10 this week. We're going to be talking about some Kingdom Hearts fiascos that I've been going through. I'm back on my RuneScape shit and some other topics this week. Seph, do you want to start us off this week on whatever you got going on?
Yeah. So basically, I told these guys, our group, like back in D&D and everything too, but also now I was telling Josh beforehand, like I wanted to start off the story, but I have been having a lot of trouble because also what's funny thing too, I also had some recent news about what happened at Target too recently. So like after like D&D and everything too. So basically if you heard some of our podcasts before, I am looking for a new job and everything too as well, because freaking the shit show it's been like over at work, it's just been so tiring at this point that like I can't stand it anymore. And the one thing too is that the past year, or at least like me and my friends or coworkers too, we've been noticing that like even though it's been getting bad and everything, like at least we kind of still able to get through it. Somehow, like since holiday season, like we've been trying to get through it, but it's just been so in decline so quickly compared to like the years before and everything too. And to tell you like how bad it's gotten too, that fact that like not only they're getting like getting stupider on their expectations with their goals and everything too. It's just the fact that like the past 8 years I've been working in Target, I have never once been talked about my performance, nor have I been like given one-on-one talk at all. This year,
yeah. From what I know, you're a hard worker.
Yeah, so this year, like I've been talked to 4 times this year. This is the 4th time being like as recently as like 4 weeks ago. And
maybe they're just finally catching you. I'm just kidding. I don't need that.
Well, it's funny thing too, because like we're thinking that like that they might be trying to like get rid of people at this point, or if not, like they're really just trying to get rid of like they're trying to replace the crew and everything too. Because I am part of the people that were been there longer, as well as like making a little bit more higher, because I'm only making like 1592 right now at the moment. And basically I was there when we started at like 950 back in 2014. So but yeah, it's like because I'm not the only one that got called up too. Like one of my other buddy Ivan, he got called up too as well, and he's gotten caught up as much time as I have, but he gets caught up like after I get like caught up and get to talking to you and everything too.
So but, I'm gonna open your mind to a different perspective.
Okay.
So I was a team lead at Target a few months ago, and then they fired me for quote-unquote performance.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times what happens is the team leader finally gets held responsible for their dumb shit. Not their dumb shit, but like for the workload that is being processed.
Yeah.
And then the team leader will then call everyone out on their performance to cover their ass. Or like an ETL, an executive team lead, to a team lead. So that could also be what's happening, and the team lead is trying to cover. Oh, you don't have a team lead though, right? Are you still in fucking? Are you in limbo? You don't have a manager?
Well, that's one thing too. Like, actually, we recently just got a team lead. Like, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, if anything.
But how long were you without one?
We were without one for like a good almost. I want to say maybe about a month. I think, because I think our team lead left around like June. I want to say towards the middle or end of June at this point.
So let's break this down, because you said it's been 4 times this year that you've been had to talk to. How many of those were with the team leader prior to them leaving?
3 of them, basically.
So then my statement stands, because the team leader was being held responsible for the workflow that was coming through, and then their ass got canned because of performance.
Well, what's funny thing too, that she actually like during our last team lead talk and team member talk and everything too, she was telling me like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in and everything too, because she already had her tickets and everything, or like, you know, they're already stacking on, they're about to fire her, so she decided to like get out on her own too as well, which is the funny thing too, because one of my other buddies that I used to work, like he used to be a team member along with me, but he got bumped up to team lead, or kind of forced onto being a team lead too as well, because the previous team lead ended up quitting before that. But even he went and like put his 2 weeks in because even he can't like handle all the like stuff that's been going on in the work or in our store and everything too because of how like we haven't been getting like enough people to like work and everything too, or not work, but like we're kind of understaffed at the moment too as well.
So most recently, was it the new team lead that gave you a talking to about performance?
I want to say she wasn't the one that talking to, but like she was keeping track of my goal times and everything for everybody. And it was my ETL that actually went and talked to me about my performance, which is a funny thing too, because like he told me like, yeah, you're doing good on the line, but like you're not doing well like after the line when you work your stuff out and everything too. But yeah, some of the workload like yeah, because like since you haven't been in inbound, like they have a certain goal time that Target has in mind for each box and everything too. Which you remember like how short the time was for each box, right? It was like a minute or something, or
it's a minute. You're supposed to knock out 60 boxes or 60 in an hour.
Yeah, so basically like I'll show you a picture of like kind of like one of the things, but some of those like those time goals are not like feasible at this point.
And that's opening a box, like making sure the box is cleaned up and you're working in a safe environment. That's making sure that your U-boat has a trash bag on it. Like all of these things play into that time frame.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to have the product out. I think it's 60 times per hour. So it could be a large box that'll take you forever to put up, or it could be a small box and it should like fluctuate within that.
Yeah. So basically, I sent you like what one of the time goal was on the U-boat and everything.
Yeah, it should be 35 minutes to process. Cause if you count the boxes.
Yeah, so basically, like that time goal, basically, supposedly they say it accounts for both, like putting it on the floor, stocking it on the shelves, taking it back, basically back stocking it all, and then going and throwing your trash away, basically. And that time goal is supposed to like reflect everything on it, which is also kind of, I'm gonna say, at least from a team member point of view, like I understand like what you mean by like the ETLs and everything, but from a team member part, like it's kind of stupid at this point because especially like with that time goal and everything too, we can't even make it at that time goal too because we have, especially in our chemical back room, it's so filled up to the rim because they keep sending us like so much stuff that we can't put out that literally we have to look up, kind of like figure out like, okay, where we're gonna put some of these boxes. And this is also supposedly coming from like they want us to be safe and everything too, and not have like heavy boxes up on the top or like stuff like that, but we literally
nothing over 35 pounds can be over 6 feet above you. It's crazy how much of the knowledge I've retained for working.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised
11 months, about that. But yeah, it's because that's what we have to talk about. The safety, because we get safety audits, we get performance audits to make sure that you guys are like meeting things on time. I think the difficult part of it is like, if you haven't started from the bottom, like and this is like the same with like fast food mentality or any workspace. If you haven't worked the jobs that your employees are doing, you don't understand how the process fully works and how much time it actually takes.
Yeah.
To complete these things. The team leader and above is playing a numbers game because they have quotas to meet, but the team member is doing all of the work. And if you haven't stepped into the realm prior to that, you'll never have like a true understanding of like how long it takes, speaking to the business, and just the things that it actually takes to process all of the work that a team member does. And this works for like any, like I said, any
of course, like any job with like higher management going from bottom to the top and everything. But yeah, like especially if like some of those boxes that were like, I think maybe like with like fabric software and everything. Some of those boxes I literally lifted up almost to like the highest point of the freaking steels, or well, I guess like the rolling steels at this point, to the top. That's how like much I actually filled up we have been on the chemical backrooms and everything too, because there's just no room on the bottom or anything like that too. Mm-hmm. But ironic, that's why like I kind of at least liked my team lead beforehand, because she did work from the bottom and worked her way up to a team lead and everything too as well. So she at least kind of understands like what's going on and stuff too. But
exactly. That's the thing. ETLs, like the most of the time they're what they call external hires, so they haven't climbed their way up from I don't know a single at least person target who's been a team member to an executive level team leader.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened with my dumbass boss. He got hired on as what's called a closing team leader.
Yeah.
So those were his responsibilities, were closing team lead, and then somehow Greg, and we're gonna get into Greg here in a little bit.
Oh God,
I loved Greg until I worked for him at Target.
Yeah.
Greg was opening a new store, opening a new store, and pulled Chris from Uptown, to which he also had some scandalous things happening and other things. I won't get into that.
Okay.
And made him an ETL of service and engagement. So he had no fucking sales experience.
Oh no.
On running things, but he would cover his own ass by pointing the blame to his team leaders and have gone through, no joke, 5 team leads in a year, including me.
God damn, that's a lot of team leads.
Because a girl left prior before me joining. Nate left to go live in Missouri and write a book. Mindy got hired to replace Nate later, so I wasn't by my goddamn self during Black Friday.
Yeah.
April got hired as a third body for who knows what fuck. Oh, because Mindy was having health issues. Because unfortunately, I love Mindy to death. She's like a elder lady. She's gonna kill me if she hears me say that. So Brooklyn, don't rat me out. But she had a bunch of health scares. Like she pulled her sciatic, and she was also almost confined to a wheelchair permanently.
What the
fuck? She got this really bad infection that she had lost part of her finger. I mean that literally. Like her hand was black.
Holy fuck!
And oh, dude, yeah, crazy shit. So then April got hired on, and then I got canned because they say it was a performance, but I'm pretty sure it's because they didn't have the payroll to function with 3 team leaders.
Of course, yeah.
And I would never do anything Chris asked. I would show up to all of my my team leader meetings with all of my nice paperwork and everything presented.
Yeah.
And Greg and everyone, my store director, being like, "Oh, good job," and then Chris would fucking, "You didn't do what I asked you to do."
Oh my God.
Whatever. Fuck you, guy.
Yeah.
So I found out today by an external source that Greg is leaving. Greg is actually moving to Texas. So I think the shit show is about to start because most of the people who were safe under his veil of protection will now have the wrath of God put down upon them. And I am excited for the hell that comes forward.
Oh, I bet, man. Yeah, I bet you right there. Like, that's going to be fun seeing from the outside, like, looking in at that point. But, man, if you're in that inside, oh, boy, that's a tough time to work through. Like, especially as telling you right now, like, it's already tough as it is, especially, like, with me, like, seeing all my friends, or the people I made friends with and everything over at works, just finding fed up and leaving and everything, too. Like, I keep contact with some of them, too, as well. But the fact that, like, everybody, like, because, everybody's leaving, and it doesn't make it fun anymore, kind of like talking, and the fact that like they're getting really onto your ass and everything too as well, which is the one thing I leads into the next point too, as I said with what happened recently, was the fact that like, so Friday I was basically working as usually. I did a full shift and everything too. And at the first part of, like, we did unload and everything, and then they told me to work in chemicals with one of my other buddy Ivan, which is the one I told you that like was also along with me getting talked to and everything too, which is ironically we're the only two that get talked to, like, for some reason, because like it's only been us two that like everybody, like, if you tell everybody, like, it's only been us two that's kind of like been on our asses, even though we've been kind of like working at least as best as we can, especially with Ivan. He's working hard in chemicals and everything too, but like we were working and everything too, and then literally they decided to pull me like after lunch and told me to go to pets and everything too after I was done backstocking the U-boat I got done before lunch. So I went and did that and everything too. I worked that one U-boat. When I went back to backstock and everything too, I was waiting for those rollers, because have you seen the rollers that they implemented and everything too for the steels? Like,
you mean the mobile shelves?
Yeah, those things.
Yeah.
So somebody was already like waiting there, and I was waiting to get into my section. One of my buddy, or Ivan, literally the guy I was working with earlier, he came by and then like he was telling me like, oh hey, like freaking I'm so fed up with this too as well, because he told me that like our new team lead went up to him saying like, oh hey, like what's happened and everything too, like why didn't you get like chemical stunts? We even had Seph in there like helping you out and everything too. So he gave him the reason which as the reason I gave you earlier, that well we've been working as much as we can, but the fact that chemicals is so like backed up and everything too, that we have to like try to find room for the bigger bulky stuff up on top and everything too. So she said to him, like, is basically what she said to him was the fact that like saying like, oh, what I'm hearing is excuses from you at this point too, right in front of his face, and literally the way he like was like the way I think he has thought about it is like, all right, I'm not putting any more effort into this work at this point, if anything. So, and when he told me that, I was like, are you fucking serious? Do you not see the fucking? You were in the back room literally after I came back from lunch. You saw how much shit is like fucking in the back room trying to put almost like 8 U-boats worth of back like stuff that we had to work out and everything in there. And you're saying that's excuse, like that's making an excuse? Yeah. So
yeah, it's all going downhill, man. Like it's crazy because I keep in contact with a lot of my staff.
Yeah.
Because I was a god to these people.
Yeah, you're a lifesaver.
I would talk shit with them about the shit that's going on. I'll be transparent with you. This shit sucks.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
But half of them don't work there anymore. Half of them have left since I left, have moved to other jobs, and just like stopped dealing with the dumb shit. And I don't know what's going on like in the above echelons of Target, but I think some bad shit's happening.
Yeah, I believe that because yeah, it's just going from like last year holiday season, which was such shitty and everything too, especially for us inbound. We've been treated like dogs, to like giving like how much pressure like inbound teams been getting. The fact that we're supposed to be expected to like, I mean, I understand like closing team doesn't have that much team members and everything too, but the fact that we're expected to like get all of our stuff done, even though like some of us are just so tired at some point, and especially like with you like knowing like I only work like I work like 3 days off, or 3 days on, 2 days off, and then have a 1 day in between. That 1 day really doesn't help a lot, especially for me, because like I kind of get off work, kind of like sleep and everything too, and I barely have maybe like a couple hours just to play games and stuff too as well. And the fact that like I go to sleep after that once I feel tired, and then wake up again, and then I usually wake up at like maybe 11 or 12, which then barely leaves me any time to kind of like fully relax to like get ready for the next day too, because I have to work at 4 a.m.
So just not good for your mental health.
No, it's really not. Like there's been some like days where just like I'm so tired at work that I can't. My mentality was just like so off, or like I'm just so pissed, or if not like I just can't deal with it anymore. That's why I kind of called out last week Thursday, because I was just so tired. Like I didn't want to like go at all. But yeah, like all of us are just like that in that moment too. Like some of us are just calling out since we just can't deal with it at this point. So it's just so fucking tiring at this point, if anything. But yeah, that's why I'm job searching right now, because I can't deal with the stupidity that's like going on with the team leads and everything, and how much expectation that they have for us, which is like way too high for that.
You reminded me of something.
Okay.
Maybe it has something to do with just inbound team.
Yeah.
The guy I got along with the most his name was Jared. He was the inbound team leader.
Yeah.
And he was the most like pessimistic. I fucking hate this place. Fuck everything person.
Yeah.
Because they would do nothing but fuck this man over. And I remember my first week working there, I met the PML who does all the maintenance.
Yeah.
Scotty. And he said, this place is going to get you. Let's see how long you last. Fuck this place. I love Scotty. I miss Scotty so much.
Yeah.
And then Jared, who's like, fuck this place. I don't know why the fuck I'm here. Fuck this stupid shit. So maybe it has something to do with inbound for sure. Because
yeah,
you guys just get fucked.
Yeah, it's a funny thing too, because you know that like SpongeBob episode with SpongeBob going to a cashier, and he goes and he puts up a picture saying, "Oh, you had so much youth and everything too. What happened to you?" Like that two difference. That's literally how. Like I was thinking about that. I was thinking like, my God, my life is like that right now with inbound team. Like I actually had some enthusiasm. I actually was happy. Now fucking I'm just so like I hate this job and everything too at this
Unfortunately,
point.
I lost all that working at GameStop for 7 years.
Dude, I don't blame it, dude. Like just shoot, even being at GameStop, man, that I don't know how you manage to do that sometimes too.
I'm glad I left when I did because that's actually gotten worse because for 17 an hour they want you to run 2 fucking stores and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth the hassle, the pain, the dumb shit.
Yeah.
And you knew things were getting bad because our district leader at the time and our loss prevention leader up and left the company after working there for over a decade. So if they're leaving, that's your sign.
That is definitely a sign right there, if anything.
That's your sign. So maybe if Greg's leaving, that's another sign because Greg's been with the company for with Target anyway for who knows how fucking long.
Yeah, that's the same thing too with my team lead. She's been there for like at least over 10 years easily, I think, at this point. Because I think she was there when the store opened. Like that specific store opened and everything too. So if she left at that time, that's saying something, if anything. Because that's what I'm like trying to think. Like I was like wondering how many team leads have I seen gone in and out. So basically, there is, from what I remember, I think within the year, we lost Kyle, Ryan, and those 2 were our food team lead. And then Carlos is now currently our food team lead right now, which is a funny thing. Because like he was gone for a week, and I was wondering like, where the hell did he go at this point? Like I did it for the same reason. I was like, man, it's a little bit more, ironically, it's a little bit more boring without Carlos there. Ironically.
Yeah, he's going through some shit right now too because he has until the end of the month to move.
Oh god, jeez, that sucks.
Because the people he was renting from sold their house, so now he has to move out.
What the fuck? Oh, that's so stupid at that point, man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't blame the owners because it's a seller's market right now. It's they probably got like at least $400K for the house.
That's not bad though, ironically.
No, I mean,
but
that's average prices right now with inflation, but you know,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Right. But yeah, like I was also trying to think of some of the other like areas, like with our inbound team, we lost another guy that's ironically named Carlos. He was gone beforehand. Our other team lead, Chris, he left. I'm trying to remember who else was there. B left as well. But yeah, there's a lot of people that have been gone, especially like with our team, like with my team alone, with all the people that was with me there. Too, like there's at least like 4 to 5 people that kind of left within like holiday season last year that literally dropped our production rate at this point. But yeah, it's such a shit show at the moment right now at Target that like I'm so close to just almost wanting to walk out like that one time too, because all the super rolls they have going.
It happens, man. I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, which ironically, I'm gonna give you one more thing before we like go to switch a different topic. So you know, like the usual New Mexico, like or all the United States labor laws that you have to take your lunch before the 6 hour and everything too.
Yeah, because if not, it's like it's a hefty penalty.
Yeah,
that the company pays. Yeah,
for me, like I usually remember what time I clock in. I always like leave at my specific time and everything too as well, or before then, at least leaving like maybe 2-3 minutes beforehand. If you're scheduled from like 6 to 10 or 6 to 10:30, would you bother staying for lunch just to get that time fully? Like if you
from 6 to 10.
Yeah, so basically it's like the full 6 hours.
4.5. Oh, you mean from 4 to 10?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 4 to 10. My bad. 4 to 10 and 4 to 10:30. Basically, like staying like for your full 6 hours, or if not like or staying and then like staying for the half hour and yet at least staying for another half hour at that point, basically.
If I was given an option, no.
Yeah. So basically,
so hold on. You said from 6 to 10:30?
Yeah, 6 to 10 and 6 to 10:30. Because
if it was 6 to 10, no.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you don't clock out within that exact like millisecond,
yeah,
then you worked over 6 hours.
Of course, yeah. Or at least like when you reach that like exact minute that you.
Obviously, if it was 6 to 10:30, yeah, I would take a lunch.
So usually I don't usually take. 10:30. Yeah. So usually I don't take the lunches if it's like from 4 to 10:30, because I think that half hour is basically kind of useless, because all I'm doing is just basically like clocking in. Excuse me. I would be clocking in, work all the way up to my 6 hour, or at least before my 6 hour, and clock out with whatever time, because that half hour is kind of useless. Because that half hour I taken at lunch, I could have easily just left, gone home already by the time that I would have came back for lunch and everything too, or at least by the time that 6 hour come in. Because it's kind of just like a little useless. Like, why stay for a half hour for just like you're gonna be there for another half hour at that point? So basically,
from a manager perspective, I'm gonna give you. I'll play your devil's advocate for you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want my team member doing that.
Of course, yeah.
And the only reason is because, and maybe it's a little bit different for you because you're inbound team.
Yeah.
The only reason I wouldn't is because let's say you're my card attendant, right?
Yeah.
So you were scheduled from, let's say, 8 to 2:30. That's 6 hours plus a lunch.
Yeah.
And the way that you would normally have to schedule it is the next card attendant comes in from 2:30 to 10.
Yeah.
If you were to leave at 2, like you're saying,
yeah,
I would have a 30-minute gap with no employee.
Got it.
That is where my issue would be. Now, for inbound, that's a little bit different because if I don't have a card attendant, I'm not having cards. I'm having pissed off guests.
Yeah, of
Did
course.
my card attendant bring in enough carts to last for that 30-minute gap between the two? So on and so forth.
Yeah.
For inbound, I think you're okay, just because. Well, okay. So then here's the other thing. Is there more team members after you who come in to fill the gap?
So that's the one thing though too. Like I understand like what you mean by that and everything too, especially since it's a different department. Inbound team is basically like we're basically the main people that usually stock the floors. Basically, we're the one that unload the trucks, basically get our stuff out on the floors. Usually help people.
But I'm saying from a not inbound perspective, is there like GM people or food people who come in after you to keep pushing out boxes?
For the most part, no, because the fact that because we do have come in like a staggered time. So the main people that usually come on the line will come in at 4. Then we have people coming in at 4:30. Then maybe some people at 5 or 6 and everything like that.
Right, but after you, someone has to be pushing out product.
Ironically, you would think that. No, ironically, there's nobody working our shit after we leave. Like, everybody from inbound literally works our stuff, and even if we all leave, or at least leave some of the stuff, none of the stuff usually gets worked out. Like, there's only a few people that will come in just to only pull priorities and stuff too, because that's why they're getting on us for stocking the floors and everything too. But there's some times where we can't leave because of just not wanting to be there, or if not just for whatchamacallit, for business, or we have other life stuff and everything too, since we work around our schedule that they give us and everything too. Mm-hmm. So usually most time, or if not most time, or if not all the time, we usually don't have anybody to work all of our stuff, or if not, there's very minimal people to work the stuff out after we leave. So we usually come in with either stuff still from last night, or if not, haven't worked at all.
So from that manager perspective again, let's say you had a 6.5 hour shift and you just didn't take a lunch and left 30 minutes prior.
Yeah.
If anyone else is on their lunch between that time frame, I'd now not only have 30 minutes of truck that's not being pushed, I have an hour of truck that's not being pushed if someone's taking a lunch.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem lies.
Understandable. Yeah.
But again, I don't know your work situation. I'm just showing you how
of course,
scheme of the cogs moving.
Oh no, yeah.
That's how it's portrayed.
Yeah, I can see that basically. But yeah, at least from my team member or perspective, at least from the lower end, I usually work from the usual unload and everything too. And then I work maybe an hour or so, because I usually like to take my lunch around, or not my lunch, but my break before take my break at least between the third hour to 3.5 hours, basically into my thing. So at least I know okay, I'm halfway through the first part, because I usually will take a lunch if I'm even if I'm scheduled 15 minutes after. I'll definitely take a lunch for that. But if I don't see the need to like stay for that like half hour, that I can easily just try to push through the first 6 hours immediately. Because like I will literally work as much as I can before that 6 hour basically. Like I'll use that because once I take a lunch, my whole like motivation will go straight down the hole, and I really I literally have to kind of like, because I usually take naps and everything too during my lunchtime, so my motivation of wanting to kind of like try to work harder is not as much as it is beforehand when I'm kind of like already alert and everything like that too, because of just so much stuff and everything going on, trying to get things done.
And you moving forward, if this is like the discussions that people have been having with you, have to move very delicately through this.
Yeah.
Because not only are you you're under the microscope for your work, like how many boxes you're outputting, your performance, but you're also under the microscope for your punches now. So now you have like two eyes on you, and essentially what happened is that team leader had that conversation with you, right? So now if they input that into the system, any other subsequent thing can lead you closer to getting fired.
Fuck, fire me as you can. I'll get me quicker to the phone.
I know, and it doesn't help that you're in a fuck it mentality. Yeah. But I'm saying if
I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
You have to move very delicately through this.
I know what you mean. It's just the fact that like, that's one thing though. Like I wouldn't have mind if they told me that like early on, like before I started doing all this, like maybe a month or two, like after I started doing that, they would have told me like, hey, you can't like take your lunches. Like, all right, fine, I'll do that. I've been doing that for at least more than a year or so. Like, so it's kind of like, and I haven't been talked to about that at all. If anything, like just skip your lunch. Because even like at one point, I did ask Matt, my ETL, like, hey, can I leave before lunch and everything too? Since I'm scheduled like like that half-hour lunch, and he said okay and everything too. It just wasn't until recently that they started really doing that, like kind of really enforcing that. I was like, fuck, are you
They probably
serious?
had a conversation about like time cards and X amount of people are doing it, and if too many people are doing it, they have to crack down on It's a fucked up. I hate it, but like that's I'm telling you, that's how it works.
Oh, I know. I'm just so fucking tired of just like all the nitpicking and just like because it's I'm just so fucking fed up at this work at this point, especially like for how hard I've been working for this team. Like I literally like you know how they say like I was it sweat, blood, and tears basically. I literally have done almost like every single one of them basically at this point for this company. The fact that because this one was like kind of already added on to like the stuff we already felt and everything too as well. So this one was just like kind of like the tipping point of me wanting to leave the company at this point. It's just the fact that like, especially like I told you about what was happening in our holiday season last year, right? With our inbound team.
No.
So basically, holiday season was, as I said, was a time where I felt like our team was really disrespected and everything too. Because usually every year, like especially for us inbound team, like we usually kind of get like some points where we do overnights and everything too as well. Like we come in for a week or so, or not a couple of days and everything too. So last year, like it was kind of like harder too as well last year because they started making our schedule a lot more like weird. So like I'm sure you remember the days where like I had to work in the morning shifts, come home, and then come back again for that night shift and everything too. So we had to like do that. So like basically almost like a double dip in our days and everything too, which is kind of hard to already. But the 2 weeks we had the overnight shift, usually like they usually kind of like at least like help us, cater us and everything too. Like kind of like, hey, like thanks for coming in and everything too. And this was, I remember correctly, it was during holiday time too as well. Or if not like it was either holiday or it was either Christmas time or if not like a Black Friday time. But usually they would have like 12 days of 12 days Xmas kind of like for the teams and everything. Thank you for hard work. Here's like some food and stuff and everything like that too. So last year, basically like especially for us overnights, we came in and we just kind of noticed that like, oh hey, they got food and everything. All right. And basically usually we haven't gotten any food and everything too. So each and every day we see like, oh hey, like they're gonna actually feed people and everything too. The day we do come or the night we do come in, we just see like mostly a bunch of empty boxes and scraps and stuff for each and every time they had food on that next day or for the day that they were feeding them. And literally there wasn't anything for us basically, even though we kind of came in for work that day basically. So kind of compared to like last year, a couple of years before, kind of felt a little bit disrespectful, saying like, "Hey, thanks for working so hard. Take whatever scraps we have that's left and everything from the main."
Yeah, we when I was working there, we had a conversation because all of the food was being eaten before the inbound team came up, which is not fair.
So all of us were kind of just pissed at that point. I kind of just ate whatever scraps because I'm fucking hungry at that point too as well. But yeah, we were all kind of just like felt like this is not like felt really disrespected at that point, if anything. And that's when everything started going downhill at that point. So, but yeah, even all of us just kind of knew like we're not gonna be able to get through this at this point and everything.
Yeah, it's a shitty environment.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anyway, basically trying to get on better news. So Josh, I saw you, or you told me that you're going on a Kingdom Hearts journey and everything again.
Okay, fuck me. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Kingdom Hearts is one of my top 3 franchises for video games that I will religiously play over and over, no matter how convoluted it is. It's like Kingdom Hearts, Pokemon, and for some odd reason, RuneScape, which I jumped back into, but we'll get into that again. I decided that I'm gonna do something I've wanted to do as a kid.
Yeah.
And that being, I'm gonna beat Kingdom Hearts on the hardest difficulty and get all of the trophies / achievements. I bought it on Xbox specifically, so I can contribute that number to my gamer score because I think I can do it.
Yeah.
So
gotta bump up them numbers, man.
I know, yeah, I'm slacking. Fucking Draper called me out. Now I feel like a scrub, so I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna do it.
And because even I'm like, I got more than you do as well.
There's just there's a time period where I was just a PC gamer, so I was only playing Final Fantasy 14, which is an MMO, and RuneScape.
Of course, yeah.
So now I need to get back on my shit.
Which ironically coming into Xbox soon too as well.
I know, which also means if I log in, I get all my achievements.
Right.
So yes, I started playing Kingdom Hearts, and I started last week. Playing Proud Mode on Kingdom Hearts 1, and I'm doing. I'm at a crossroads now because I don't know if I want to do them in order.
Yeah. Because
if I do them in order, up next is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and that one is fucking poo-poo because it uses a card-based combat system.
Oh, gee. Okay, yeah.
So it's like war. Your number has to be higher than the card attacking you.
Yeah.
And it's... I want to do it just to get it out of the way, but I don't want to do it at all.
That just sounds painful at that point, if anything.
So, I started Kingdom Hearts 1. I followed a couple instructional guides because I had never played on the hard difficulty, and I wanted to know
how hard it is.
Not just that, but the strategies that people used and the reasons why to understand to gain a better understanding of how the game functions.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Kingdom Hearts 1. When Kingdom Hearts 1 was ported to the HD versions for PS3, PS4, so on, and the ones we have currently, they actually lost the source code.
Oh shit, that right.
So they had to rebuild Kingdom Hearts 1 in the Kingdom Hearts 2 engine. But it still feels like Kingdom Hearts 1. It's the camera controls are fucking dog shit and it plays perfectly.
I like how they never fixed that at that point.
No, God, it's so bad. So I found out several other things, factors that have been fucking me through my entire playthroughs that I never knew even existed. And the first one starts with 3 questions that they ask you at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
They ask you, what kind of person do you want to be? How do you view your friends? What do you want? And depending on which number answer you pick in the sequence, determines how your level scaling fucking works. I never knew this.
What?
So I always thought I'm going to pick my friends are my power, I want to protect everyone, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Don't ever fucking do that if you're playing Kingdom Hearts. Holy fuck, I never knew this.
Yeah.
So it categorizes your options into dawn, midday, and dusk.
Okay.
Dawn is if you pick the first option in each of the 3 characters asking you this question. Your XP scales higher between the levels of 1 and 40.
Uh-huh.
If you pick midday, your levels scale higher between like 30 to 70.
Oh, God.
If you pick dusk options, which is the third options, your levels scale higher between 50 and 100.
Oh,
so who knows how many times I've replayed these games and have been fucking myself because I never knew that there was actually specific choices that influence the XP rates that you gain levels through specific portions of, like, truly, if you pick dusk options and you beat the game at level 50, you just fucked yourself for the last 15 to 20 hours that you were grinding levels.
Damn, really?
Yes. So I picked Dawn. I studied, I picked Dawn. And next up is a series of questions that it's like you're going to pick one of these objects and it's going to determine which abilities you get at which levels. So it coincides with the first question. Oh, dude, I know. I'm fucking flabbergasted.
They put a lot of details in just that 3 questions
because it's a fucking it's a JRPG. It's fucking Japan and Square Enix was like, I'm gonna fucking blow your mind.
Fuck all these kids.
So depending on which weapon you pick, which is a sword, a staff, or a shield, you gain bonuses in those respective stats. Not only that, it sets parameters for what levels you get and unlock specific abilities for Sora.
Oh.
I didn't fucking know that either.
Yeah.
So I looked it up and everyone's like saying, okay, pick shield, ditch the staff. Because if you pick the shield, that gives you more defensive abilities early, like second chance, which is if you take a crit strike that leaves you at 1 HP, you'll stay at 1 HP.
Oh, wow.
Huge. Massive. You can take any fucking hit, and then with a summon like Tinkerbell, will heal you back up to fucking full health. Perfect. Wow. Great for being fucked on Proud Mode.
Of course, yeah.
I don't remember what, like, it gets rid of everything else. But if you're playing the hard difficulty modes, you want to pick the shield first because it sets you up for defensive abilities that will benefit you
in the long run.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
So I did all that. I also found out that there's a little bit of cheese and a little bit of grind that you can get at the very beginning when you're on Destiny Islands. You're just a wee lad, young Sora, talking to the Final Fantasy characters, specifically Tidus.
Yeah.
And before you even leave the island, before you get your Keyblade, you have that fucking danky wooden sword, right?
Yeah.
You can fight Tidus. And every time you parry, you gain 1 total experience.
Oh my god.
So I fought Tidus and parried until I got to level 10, which took an hour.
Oh god.
I know.
So you literally did exactly what fucking the South Park kids did in that World of Warcraft fucking episode.
I did.
Oh my fucking god, I can't believe you did that.
So I did all that, and I got to the first boss fight, which is Darkside. It's that large heartless with the heart carved into the middle. And you have to do that to actually, like, enter the game and get to Traverse Town and to the other worlds and meet Donald and Goofy.
Yeah.
So I get to that fight. Fucking breezed through it. It was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Cakewalk. I'm like, oh, okay. I got this. Proceeded to go to Traverse Town.
Yeah.
Met Donald and Goofy. Fought the reverse armor boss fight.
Okay.
Perfect. No death.
Oh, nice.
Continued on. I think I went to Olympus Coliseum first. Went to Olympus Coliseum, did the Trial Cup, left. Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I got to Tarzan.
Oh, no.
Tarzan, I think, is where I was humbled first.
Okay.
So Tarzan, the enemies are a little difficult. Like, the monkeys are just kind of a pain in the fucking ass. The power monkeys, the power wilds, they're called.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what I was doing, but, like, I landed. I was going through, and I died within, like, 5 seconds. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's death number 1. Cool, whatever.
I have a death tracker now.
I was like, okay, this is the universe trying to humble me.
Yeah.
I proceed through Tarzan. I get through the fight with, like, the leopard, and those are easy. I'm breezing through it. I'm actually surprised.
Yeah.
I continue through, and you have to battle Clayton.
Oh, that dude, yeah.
The fucking the shotgun guy from Tarzan.
Yeah, the evil villain, basically.
Yes. So there's 2 concurrent fights that you have to fight Clayton.
Oh no. Okay.
The first one is Clayton is just like, and the hard part and the shitty part about this is the game registers you at like whatever you were at a safe point last, so it's probably the area before.
Yeah.
So if you have multiple stage boss fights, you have to start at the beginning. I'll get more into this later when I had to fight Ansem.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting Clayton. His shotgun, at first it happens so fast that your character can't even dodge it fast enough.
Oh my god.
Until I discovered jumping.
Oh no. Okay.
So then I get through that. I get through that fight pretty quickly. I don't even kill like the side heartless because it's just faster for me to focus my attention on Clayton.
Yeah.
And then I get to part 2 Clayton. And part 2 Clayton is fucking janky because Clayton essentially climbs up on this like chameleon heartless that's invisible for that like majority of the fight.
Oh shit.
Until you do enough damage to it.
Yeah.
And then the chameleon falls over and Clayton will shoot you, but the chameleon will just attack you.
Oh god. Okay.
So it becomes kind of 2 bosses.
Yeah.
This took me 2 hours.
Holy
And this
fuck.
is where probably 10, we'll say about 10 to 15 of my deaths in my total run come from.
God damn.
I was getting fucked. I was watching videos on it. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And then I discovered this beautiful YouTube channel that has no like voiceover recording he just has like text box for each fight.
Oh, nice.
This dude fucking I owe this dude my life because he got me through every single fight that I needed to.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Nice.
So what you have to do is you have to kill the chameleon first, fully, and then just focus all of your damage on Clayton, and then the fight's a breeze.
Yeah.
I found the dude's YouTube channel. I did that fight. Moving on. We're fucking going to Wonderland. We're gonna go fucking save Alice, kinda, but she's still gonna disappear. No one knows what happened.
Yeah.
I go through Wonderland. I'm powering through. Perfect. Done.
Okay.
After that, you have to go back to Traverse Town. I fight the other opposite guard armor. I get Arrow, which is a life-saving and critical spell because what it does for like 15... Oh, I even learned the math on the spells and how they function.
Wow, that's
so it's
really...
15 seconds plus how much MP you have gives you a defensive bubble around Sora's body that will deflect attacks for you. So this is a huge buffer and a huge defensive strat moving forward to have this skill.
Yeah.
You get to Agrabah. I'm fighting Jafar. Jafar's fight sucks because you have to fight Jafar normally, and it's this large pit with 3 like sections that you can stand on, and if Jafar is between any of the the triangle section of the pit that's not standable, you can't hit him.
Oh,
so you're just waiting for him to fly around the map, hit him a couple times, and then dodge Genie's attacks.
Yeah.
And then Jafar becomes a genie.
Oh no.
That's equal, if more infuriating, because you don't do damage to Jafar. Iago is fucking flying around carrying the lamp.
Yeah.
And you just have to fly to the platforms, which are now moving, by the way, up and down. They fucking shift. And you just have to do damage to Iago by fucking jumping on the platforms and dodging Jafar's attacks. That I did flawlessly, by the way. I did not die.
That's surprising.
I haven't died since Clayton.
Yeah.
Moving on. I go to... So, okay. This is where Kingdom Hearts fucked me a little bit.
It sounded like...
And not in death, it's just in pain.
Yeah.
From Agrabah, you can go north or you can go south. What I didn't know is that no matter which way you go anyway, Monstro comes and swallows you alive and you have to do Pinocchio shit.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So I was excited. I'm flying in my gummy ship. Brooklyn's sitting next to me having a good fucking time. I'm all pumped up. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to my favorite world. Where is that? And then the cutscene fades and I'm like, fuck! It's like, what? What's wrong? What happened? Are you good? I'm like, no. I have to go inside the whale and I have to go save Pinocchio. And I'm just sad.
God.
So I enter the fucking whale.
Yeah.
Power my way through Monstro. I don't think I died there either. I think I've been powering through.
Yeah.
Gaining enough levels because of the paths I picked. I have the better defensive abilities and more HP as I level up.
Nice.
I'm doing fucking pretty good.
Alright, Josh, just kind of like cut you a little bit there. That scene, the part where you just kind of yell. So, like, just give everybody a little context. We are recording we're talking to each other through Discord, but we're recording on Audacity. The funnier part was when he yelled "fuck" at that point. I basically all I heard was like "fuck," and then literally he just went dead silent after that.
Yeah.
Like it just cut him off right there, which was the funniest thing ever. But like, go on, Josh. My bad.
So I powered through Monstro, and I'm excited because there's going to be a series of events that are going to make my heart happy, that are going to cause me extreme emotional pain.
Oh God.
And then neutrality, in that order specifically. My favorite Disney movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas. So I land in Halloween Town. I power my way through Halloween Town. I get through the Oogie Boogie fight. I die not to the Oogie Boogie fight 1, but Oogie Boogie fight 2 because he turns into his house, essentially. And you have to defeat the dark orbs that are spawning on him. It's just like a lot of platforming and climbing.
Yeah.
So I died once there. And then that's my happiness. I powered through. I got to meet Jack, hang out with him, get my favorite Keyblade, which is Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
Now for the hard part and the painful part.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, when Brooklyn's still watching me as I'm playing this, I'm like, okay, you see me happy right now? this blissful, like, giddy inner child of mine thriving as I'm playing the hardest difficulty of my favorite video game, or one of.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. I'm like, that's all about to disappear. It's like, why? Because we're going to Atlantica.
Oh no, I remember you talking about that.
For those of you who haven't played Kingdom Hearts.
I haven't played Kingdom Hearts, but I remember you specifically talking about this specific level, basically.
Seph, if I had to ask you in Mario or in any game that has a water level, what's the worst fucking world or level in that video game series? It's a fucking water level.
Easily.
Donald... Okay. Donald gets turned into like this fucking octopus.
Yeah.
Goofy gets turned into a giant sea turtle, and I turn into a beautiful merman.
Yeah.
You meet Ariel. You have to learn how to swim, and then you have to fight swimming, and it's just a lot of like up and down floating, and there's only 2 tracks that play.
Yeah.
It's Under the Sea in background music, and whatever happy-go-lucky fake fucking, like, sea shanty shit that plays during combat.
Yeah.
I'm hating every second of it, because then I have to track down this dolphin that leads me to a specific path so I can go up the specific way, but if you get caught in the jet stream, it's going to send you back, and you have to start over. And it's just pain.
You just sound
I don't die, but I power through. I power through Atlantica. I get through it. I defeat Ursula. I defeat fucking Behemoth Ursula.
Jesus Christ.
Move it on. We're going to fucking Captain Hook's ship. We're going to Peter Pan. Get to Peter Pan. I power through the anti-form Sora fight. I beat Riku's ass oh no, I don't think there's a Riku fight there. I think it's only anti-Sora.
Yeah.
I beat anti-Sora. I beat Captain Hook. Move on. We're going to fucking Hollow Bastion. Fucking excited. I can't believe I'm making this much progress. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Hollow Bastion. This is where a couple more deaths come into play because there's maybe 4 or 5 boss fights in this world.
God damn,
one of them being, I think in order, it's Normal Maleficent, which I think I powered through.
Yeah.
Dragon Maleficent, which I died maybe about 5 times.
Damn.
To which I had to go back to like the YouTube video, find out that if you just summon Tinkerbell, she'll just permanently stay on the field, and you just cast Arrow and deflect yourself. Again, Arrow is a life-saving force that is what essentially got me through the entire game.
Yeah.
Beat Dragon Maleficent. Then you have to fight Ransom, which is Riku Ansem.
Yeah.
I powered through that fight. I'm like, oh my god, I'm good. I'm done. This is where I made a critical failure.
Uh-oh.
I should not have done Hollow Bastion.
Why?
what I should have done is gone back and farm, because I'm trying to get all the achievements, not just like completing it on proud mode, which is what my goal is, but because of the gamer score, you can get all of the achievements in one-ish playthrough if you do it within enough time.
Yeah.
That wasn't what I was going for, because I knew there was no way I was going to be... one of the hardest achievement is you have to be Ansem within 15 hours of the game.
Well, how long were you already in the game at that point?
I was already pushing about 13. I think I was at like 13 and a half.
Yeah.
So that would have left me with an hour and a half to clear out everything in End of the World, and End of the World takes so fucking long that there was no way.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to do it this run anyway, because my original plan was just to beat the game on proud mode and then go back on beginner mode, and you can get every achievement on beginner mode and just, easy breezy, you're good.
Of course, yeah.
But I thought it'd be cool to get the Ultima weapon, which is the fucking best Keyblade in any Kingdom Hearts game with the most damage.
Yeah.
What I forgot is if you beat Hollow Bastion, you now enter a different game state.
Oh.
So all of the worlds you visited before are now an extremely higher difficulty.
Oh,
not just that,
shit.
They spawn different Heartless that are more complicated and more difficult.
Oof.
So I was like, fuck it. I'm already here. I'm like level 50-ish. I'm just gonna go to End of the World. I go to End of the World. I power through that weird like little arrow maze where I have to fight. I get to Behemoth. I fucking clear out Behemoth. I get to Ansem. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Fuck. No, you're not. No.
Can't do that,
fuck
fam.
you. Like, oh my god. Okay. I'm being humbled again.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go back and like level up and like look up some guides to like where the Heartless spawn that I need for specific synthesize ingredients, and I'm just gonna go do it. Nope, I can't do that because I fucked myself, and everywhere that the good spawns were are gone.
Oh shit.
Okay, this is fine.
Yeah. This is not fine.
I go back, I level up just a little bit. Like, okay, I'm just gonna fucking do it. I mentally prepare myself. I still keep dying to Ansem Phase 1. And that fight sequence sucks because once you hit that save point, you have technically four fights ahead of you.
Oh, God. With
or technically 7.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
And I'll explain when I get there.
Yeah.
So I'm at my save point and I'm at Ansem 1.
Uh-huh.
I must have died to Ansem 1 5 times.
Not too bad, at least.
No, but still a lot in like the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, especially compared from the bosses beforehand.
I'm like, fuck. Okay. I look up a guide and I'm proud of myself because I discovered his movements and I discovered ways around the movements between dodges, parries, and other ways to meander my way through. Also, let me backtrack just a second.
Yeah.
You think Donald and Goofy are no fucking help on a normal playthrough? They're on the death screen at the end of the game. It tells you how many times your fucking companions died. They went down 300 fucking times to my X amount of deaths that I'll tell you at the end.
Oh my god! Wow.
So I look up a video. I power through. I am Brooklyn's here, and this was like 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking do it.
Uh huh.
I'm just gonna sit down. I'm gonna fight. I'm just gonna give it a shot. What the fuck? Like, what's the worst that happens?
Yeah.
I'm playing through. I beat Ansem 1. I'm fucking hype. I'm like, oh my god, I beat Ansem 1. Sick. I'm like, okay, I got this. I beat Darkseid because it's a stronger Darkseid after Ansem 1. So I beat Darkseid quick. I'm like, I'm fucking hyped. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I hit Ansem 3. And Ansem 3, you cannot fight with Donald and Goofy. Oh, I think no. Do you fight with Donald and Goofy in Ansem 3?
I have no
I don't
idea.
think you do. You don't, because there's no summons.
Mm.
So Donald and Goofy are trapped outside, and it's just Sora versus Ansem 3.
Yeah.
Which is it's the same moves as Ansem 1, with more fucking shitty moves after that.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I fight Ansem 1, I fight Ansem 3. I am immediately humbled again, maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I'm just gonna take a little bit of a break. I think Brooklyn and I just go relax for a little while. I'm like, you know what? I can do it one more time. I'm gonna do it again.
Uh-huh.
All right, I go through Ansem 1, breeze through it. Now that I learned all the movesets, I fucking did it first clear. I breezed through Darkside. I actually beat Ansem 3 on this run. I'm like,
nice.
Oh my god, I'm going into the final fight. And Brooklyn's been playing Dreamlight Valley on my PC next to me, and I'm on my Xbox. So I'm like, okay. What I've been doing this whole time is I've been opening my Xbox app on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or YouTube on my Xbox. Going to watch the video, and then going back into the video game because of Xbox Quick Resume state.
Of course, yeah.
And just hopping into the game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm good. I pulled back. I'm like, I'm going to pause it because I have no clue the next series of events that are going to transpire in Ansem 4, because it's not actually a human body. It's 4 separate boss stages that you have to defeat in order to, 1, save Donald and Goofy, and then beat the game.
Oh, God. Okay.
So I'm watching the video. Well, I guess I didn't make it that far. So I pause it.
Yeah.
I open YouTube. And this is right after I finally beat Ansem 3.
Yeah.
YouTube froze my Xbox opening it.
No. Are you serious?
So my Xbox crashed and reset.
Oh, fuck. No.
So right after I had been grinding Ansem 3 and finally fucking beating it.
Yeah.
I had to redo it all again because my Xbox crashed.
I'm surprised you didn't quit that day at that point.
I did. I actually did. It's funny because all I did, and I think I scared the shit out of Brooklyn, is I just put my controller down and I'm just like, I'll be right back. I got up out of my room. I sat in the living room. And you know what I did to calm down?
What?
I started listening to Andy Serkis read the Silmarillion, and I was just in a different world.
Oh, my God.
I turned my brain off because I was about to fucking kill somebody.
I
all of that progress I had made up to that point, perfect fucking clears.
Yeah.
And I died.
Ugh. That's always a heartbreak right there.
So then, like, Brooklyn and I are chilling. She comes to check on me after 30 minutes, and it's just weird because she's like just listening to me listen to someone talk, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just listening to an audiobook." She's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Go back in the room. We're laying in bed, and we're just like, "Well, I'm still awake." She's like, "Yeah, I am too." I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do it."
Yeah.
This is like one of the times she said that it's been the most attractive she's seen me because I've been so hyper focused on a goal and nothing will stop me.
Yeah.
I beat Ansem 1. I beat Ansem 2. I beat Ansem 3. I beat every single stage of Ansem 4, and I beat the fucking game after that playthrough that fucked me.
Fuck yeah, nice. Oh my god, that's...
And I have never... My inner child was just like, I finally did it. I can finally say I did it.
Yeah. So you even got me hyped up for that, man. Shit.
Yeah. So, total playtime was 20 hours from start to finish. Pretty good.
That's not bad. That's really not bad.
I only had 31 deaths.
That's actually really good, especially for hard difficulty like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. How much was for Goofy and those guys, though?
300.
Oh, yeah, that's right. God damn. That's so fucking much.
Mm-hmm. They're just constantly down. Oh, you want extra heals? Sorry, Donald's dead.
Yeah.
But I did it. I am
Congrats,
proud of myself. Thank you. Thank you. I am one of the elite. Now
Yeah, you're definitely gonna be.
Now I'm in a crossroads because now I don't know if I want to just play Chain of Memories and get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Or if I just want to go into something happy like Kingdom Hearts 2 and play it on critical mode.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that's definitely a crossroads right there.
So I'm just relaxing for now. Like Brooklyn and I have actually been watching and finished Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
And I made a slight mistake.
Go on.
So we hadn't watched. She's never seen Lord of the Rings. I'll just preface this.
Oh, technically she watched one, basically.
So that's what I'm getting to.
Oh, okay, got it.
So we watched that one a year ago for when it came out in April for the anniversary.
Yeah.
And then we hadn't watched The Two Towers or Return of the Kings, so she had no fucking clue what happens and just didn't give a shit because I'm not saying she didn't give a shit, but like we never revisited it even though we talked about it like constantly.
Yeah.
So at D&D, there was a heated discussion because Brooklyn said something out of context, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I don't remember.
So we then watched The Two Towers.
Oh no.
So I'm talking to her, and I'm like, "Well, like, like." Oh, we watched a quick recap, and we're just like, Gandalf's dead.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Frodo and Sam went off on their own thing, and we're just moving on. That's like the stupid Cliff Notes version of
like way
Fellowship.
short.
And she didn't like Fellowship too much because there wasn't enough action. I'm like, I get it. Like, it's a lot of character like development and
dialogue
and
everything. Yeah,
setting plot. So we're going through Two Towers. She's actually getting invested.
Nice.
She's watching. She thinks Daddy Aragon / Strider is just like the bee's fucking knees.
I have to ask a quick question. Did you talk about like when he kicked the helmet and everything?
So it's funny you bring that up because the same night that like I think it's the night of D&D.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about that.
Stevon. I was talking to everyone. I'm like, I'm excited because I get to be that fucking nerdy asshole that tells their girlfriend or like partner that you see when he kicked the helmet, he broke his toe there. That's him actually screaming.
Yeah.
And I got to do it. Yes. I was very
okay.
excited.
I was waiting for it. Yeah.
Score. Put one on my tally mark. So we're watching The Two Towers, and she's invested. She's like, "How the fuck is Gandalf back? What the fuck?" Blah 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 blah. We go through it. Then we get like a couple days pass, and we watch Return of the King.
Yeah.
I was worried on how she'd do because the Two Towers Extended Edition is 3.5 hours long. I think it's 4 hours, actually.
Jeez, yeah.
I was kind of struggling to watch it, but she kept up. I was impressed.
That's pretty impressive.
We watched Return of the King.
Extended?
Okay. 4.5 hours.
Oh, that's such a long time, too.
She was at the edge of her seat the entire fucking movie.
Really?
Do you remember that photo I sent you guys when she was watching Star Wars for the first time and she was just clutching a pillow and she was doing the exact same thing?
Oh my god, nice.
And I was just like, that's it. That is exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Now you understand why we hold these so dear and so delicately because it's just a beautiful masterpiece.
Of course, yeah.
We're watching, we get to King Theoden's death and she's crying. I'm like, oh my god, she's like actually like super into this.
Yeah.
Getting there. We get to, Mount Doom, we get to the battle of Minas Tirith, and she's just in shock and awe and just fully immersed. I had time to go talk to my mom who had dropped off food for us, walk back in, and she looked at me and she's like, when did you get tacos? I'm like, I was outside for like 10 minutes.
Wow, yeah.
What the fuck? Like, oh. So we get to the end of the movie and she just looks at me. She's like, wow. Why the fuck didn't you make me watch those sooner? I'm like, oh, god damn it. But she did it.
My god. That's really good to hear, at least.
Yes.
Oh my god. That's actually pretty good, though. At least she knows, now going to know the references that we're going to be talking about and everything, too, at least.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah.
So I'm excited. Eventually we'll watch The Hobbits, but I don't know when that'll be.
Of course, yeah. But that's pretty funny. Oh my god, that's actually really good, though, too. So, Josh, I was gonna say, since this is our 10th episode, I kind of want to go a little bit longer at least. Even though, yeah, because even though like it's gonna be penny ass for me later, I actually do want to at least like give a little celebration since this is our 10th episode, and the fact that like we've been going for like almost like what 2-3 months at this point.
What do you got? What do you want?
So basically, like like how I'm excited for the Five Nights at Freddy movie coming in, right? Like in October, which is such close. So I had I said before I have Google News and everything, so I get random news and stuff. Apparently, I got a Dextero article. Apparently, the new Five Nights at Freddy is supposed to be 3 hours long.
Apparently, it's also supposed to be 3 different movies.
Are you serious?
I don't know how much validity it has, but I've seen it from multiple sources.
Yeah.
That Matthew Lillard signed a 3-movie contract for FNAF.
I'm actually gonna be excited for that.
So yeah, I don't think it's just gonna be 1 movie. I think they know it's gonna do well, and I think it's gonna be 3.
Yeah. Ooh, I think it will probably do well because the trailer on its own looks really good, especially with just the animatronics alone. It looks really good at this point. It's like it looks really good, so I'm excited to see this one. And this one I actually will see in theaters. I actually do want to see this in theaters, if anything too.
Yeah, I'm normally a chicken shit, but I'll go watch it.
Yeah, why not just make it like a freaking group day at that point, basically, for whoever want to watch it. But yeah, like I like that's at least what I saw. That it's supposed to be 3 hours long and everything too, and the fact that like it's like just got me a little bit hyped up is because this was also then after I watched the security breach DLC ruin and everything too.
I watched it, and I'm sad that I didn't get all the endings because it's bugged to high hell.
Oh yeah, freaking. That's I don't know. I was watching the Markiplier one, and even then, like I'm still a little confused on like some of the endings too. So I'm gonna wait for the Matt Pat theory on that one and everything. See what he says.
There's actually Brooklyn introduced me to like Super Horror Bro or some shit like that. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
He goes through every ending like and explains it in detail, and there's actually a lot. I was actually surprised.
I'm surprised too. I was kind of like crazy though too, especially with one of the base endings, like that Markiplier did was basically kind of like almost played straight through it and everything, and that ending was kind of fucked up. Like basically, Gregory says, "Oh, we can't," or spoiler alert, like spoiler and everything too if you haven't played it and everything. But it is free though for anybody that bought Security Breach. So if you want to skip this part, you can and everything and play it because I actually would highly recommend playing it because it looks really interesting. But for the first main ending or like the default ending, I really thought that was kind of really fucked up that like Gregory said like, oh, we can't be because he is released and everything too. We can't have anybody following us at that point, and literally sent Cassidy straight down the elevator shaft and everything like that too, which was cold
for you.
Yeah.
So the theory, is when you're watching that main elevator ending.
Yeah.
There's a moment where the mimic is talking, or where Gregory is talking to Cassidy, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a bit of static, and then the tables turn where the elevator shaft is dropped.
Yeah.
That static is the mimic taking over the communication frequency and then just killing Cassidy, so it wasn't actually Gregory.
Oh, fuck, are you serious?
Because you can hear it cut out like, and then it switches over to continue talking to sound like Gregory, but it's possible it's the mimic.
Fuck, actually, I might need to rewatch that ending then too and listen in. Holy fuck, that's crazy.
So
though.
I didn't mean to blow your fucking mind, but like,
yeah,
I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I need to like actually listen to that again because that's absolutely insane. Like, oh my god, dude. But like, yeah, the new DLC was actually pretty good and stuff too as well.
Yeah, I was hooked on the lore. I was like, fuck, I'm back into the goddamn the shit. But it was pretty good. I was actually surprised.
All right, yeah, definitely. And then what's it called? Like talking about another movie too as well that I told you that recently that I watched and everything. I finally watched was Sword Art Ordinal Scale, which
I need to show Brooklyn that, so no spoilers. But like that movie's so good because it's AR.
Yeah, like it's.
Oh my god, I want to watch it again.
I know, like I believe me, like because I was watching it and like I actually had my door open because I had the AC running and everything to try to cool down the house. But no, there's like so many parts where like I just felt like because like like we both watched it when it was first coming out and everything too, so we were kind of like really like hooked into the series at this point. There's like a couple parts where like I really got super pissed about that, like just along with the characters, I was just so pissed off. And there like one part where like I literally almost started tearing up because of just how awesome it was and because like how like it was and everything too as well. Like, it was just such an emotional ride just watching that because of like how like kind of like almost tied in. Like, that's one of the animes that like was kind of like really brought me back in, other than like a couple other ones too as well and everything too. So
yeah,
I'm like,
I feel bad because Draper's been waiting for me to watch the Demon Slayer finale, and I still fucking have it. It's been out for months. Like, fuck, I need to do that.
At least it's not like me where like I had waited for like a couple years at that point to watch that though. So, but yeah, like that was such a like a really good movie, especially if you've been watching like Sword Art since the beginning, like the anime been released and everything too. Which is like, I'm afraid of going to watch Knights of Sidonia because the movie came out recently, because it was released like at least maybe mid to like late 2010s, I want to say, because it was a Netflix original anime too as well. And like it was like at first like I kind of almost turned it off, but like the story hooked me in because initially it was it's a 3D CG anime basically. So, but like the way they had the first season, like frame rate was locked into the traditional frame rate of Japanese animation. So it was a bit like choppy and like little like kind of like slow movement and everything too. But from the second season, they actually really just made it to like where it was like more smoothly and everything like too. And they even updated that for the first season release on the Blu-ray and stuff too, which I both have. So basically, so basically between that second season and maybe the movie that came out, it's been like at least a good like 4 to 5 years, if anything, I think at that point. So basically, like during that time, I was like, I've been waiting for that like next part, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna go read the manga and everything too. So I went, read the manga and everything too, and I really got into the manga and stuff like that too, because even like I was so invested into this show because of the fact that like just the way how they handle, like, it's a mech show of course as well, but also it is kind of like a drama show too as well, because like the way they really, like, the first 6 episodes like really grasp you into like, this is so awesome, like, oh my god. But there's a specific part where literally my heart was broken at that point. I was like, I fucking hate this show so much for breaking my heart like that and everything too. And it didn't help too the way the second season was just so much like, fuck you at that point and everything too. And literally when I was like reading the manga, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool, and just like so much emotion out of that too. And the fact like the way how it ended, I was like, okay, I can kind of see, like, I kind of agree with it but disagree with it. So but
what's it called?
Knights of Sidonia.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's a pretty good, I mean, I have the Blu-ray too if you ever want to do it or watch it too as well. Like if you want to borrow it. But yeah, it's actually a really good like mech show. It's like if I'm gonna give you the base premise, it's basically Nagato it's Nagato something, I can't remember. It's been a while since I last watched it, but this guy, he's basically the only human that's on board this ship called the Sidonia. And basically like he's the only human because everybody else was was like bioengineered to only have minimal food and basically like synthesized with like the light and water basically, so just so that they have like very little like kind of like waste for like food, or like, you know, not having to produce as much food, being limited on the ship and everything too. So basically they kind of do that, and then like basically like they fight against this unknown creature called the Ghana, which can only be destroyed by these like specific weapon that's called the Kabi, because they can only pierce the placenta, or they can pierce the placenta plus the main weak point that they have that can't be pierced by any weapons that they have unless it's the Kabi for some weird reason. And the reason why like they can only do that was basically like shown off later in the series too, which is kind of crazy, like what they reveal and everything too. And it just like goes through so much like what the fuck, like you learn a lot more about the stuff and everything going down further down in the season. But yeah, like, so it wasn't until I think either the 2 years ago, or so sometimes they announced that they're making a movie of the final arc of the whole show and everything too. So I was so excited, and then I didn't get to really get to watch it until and I still haven't watched it yet, but like I bought the movie on Vudu, so I do have it on there, which is like, Boston, like, my only reason is the fact that like I haven't been watching some of these shows because it's like feels like it's an ending to like a story that like you kind of got really invested into, but you just don't want to see it end at that point, basically. Which is why it took me so long to watch like Sword Art because of the stuff that happens there, and that's why I'm kind of afraid of not afraid of watching, but like kind of like I don't know if I want to go through all that emotional again because of like it's the ending of that whole series and everything too as well, So it's kind of like, as I said, it's one of the few animes that is on my top list of like animes to watch and everything too, which I have like very few like animes that's on that list too, which is a funny thing too, because like when I was watching Sword Art Online, I was like thinking like, I wonder, and I remember why I didn't want to like fully watch anime shows, because I get really invested into them at that point.
I do too, and I get so immersed in the story, even though they're cheesy, but
yeah, like you get very emotionally into it and everything too. But yeah, it's like, oh my god, like it's I want to watch it and everything too, but like fuck, I don't want to watch it at the same time. But yeah.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 10 of the Skillless Podcast. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials at Instagram and Twitter and YouTube.
Oh yeah, of course.
And we'll catch you in the next episode. See you.
See you later.
I'm not into it. I'm not into it. I'm not.